What's up, everybody? This is GreenBean hanging out in the lush environment of Sedona, Arizona, and look what I found.
What's up, guys? I don't know what this video is going to be about, but it's going to be about something right after this.
And we'll get into it when we're warm.
Well, hey everybody, this is GreenBean back inside this time. Little did Ryan know that this video, when we met in Sedona, would end up being about free agents that are no longer free agents via the franchise tag. But it was awesome to see Ryan out there. My wife and his wife, we got together and we had a beautiful lunch. How random is it that I get to see our boy, the king of Jets content creators, Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. And on top of that, we got snowed on their vacation. I have a sneaking suspicion that Ryan and his wife were not looking for snow when they went to Arizona during the winter, but it was beautiful nonetheless. So here we are, guys. The Jets have been getting their butt kicked for the last 24 hours, and we didn't even do anything. How can that be? The franchise tag window came and went, and in that last 24-hour period, we saw quite a few of the guys that Jets fans have been hoping for get taken from our market. And I'm telling you, it was like a lot of the guys that we thought the Jets were going to make very aggressive plays for. In just a short few hours span, we saw all of them get taken right off the board. Now, who am I talking about? Well, we've talked a lot about tight ends, that the Jets should be looking for grabbing a tight end in free agency and a tight end in the draft. It's known as a pretty strong tight end class, probably the strongest in at least 5 to 10 years. So we probably should make a play at getting at least one tight end via the draft, maybe a Trey McBride, maybe a Ferguson, a Ruckert, somebody like that, a Cade Otton. So one of those guys should be coming to the Jets, but we were really hoping that we could make a play for one of the free agents. Now, who was the top free agent on most everybody's list, at least where the tight ends were concerned? Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys, a former 4th-round pick who was like 3rd in receptions and 5th in touchdowns last year, really lit it up, and Dallas clearly didn't want to let him go, and they decided to franchise tag. And look, it makes a lot of sense to franchise tag tight ends. It's one of the lower franchise tag numbers, like tight end, safety, and then you got kicker for $4 million, poor kickers. But yeah, so I mean, letting a guy go that has clearly been a major point of your offense when the number is not exactly, bank breaking, it makes a lot of sense. But not only did Dalton Schultz get taken from our market, a lot of people were talking about a couple other guys that in the event we couldn't get Dalton Schultz, we pivoted right over to guys like David Njoku from the Browns, and maybe Gesicki from the Dolphins, and they're gone. They got taken from our potential list as well, just gone. So in just a couple of hours, we saw Dalton Schultz, David Njoku, and Mike Gesicki get taken from our potential offseason list, and it's a major hit. But not only that, we also saw some of the dreamers of our group, of our Jetnation fan base. We saw some dreamers saying, hey, you know what? I think Joe Douglas makes a play for a wide receiver, and the crown jewel of the wide receiver market is none other than Davante Adams, and I think Joe Douglas is going to make that play. Wouldn't that be amazing if we went out there and got arguably the best wide receiver in this year's free agent class, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and he's gone. The Packers decided to franchise tag him right after they decided to keep Aaron Rodgers. And what a beautiful play by Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan in the world. I'm not even really what I would call a fan of Aaron Rodgers. I know he's good, all those things. I'm not dumb, but I don't particularly like Aaron Rodgers. But you got to give credit where credit was due. He let the Packers think for the past just about 2 years that he wanted out. I want out. I'll play this year, but after that, I'm gone. He let the whole world know. He did interviews. He did everything to let the world know and the Packers know that he wants out of Green Bay. And what did he end up doing? He ended up staying in Green Bay for the richest contract in NFL history, $200 million and whatever the numbers might be. So he played them like a fiddle. and it looks like the Packers want to keep the band back together. So they are going to keep Aaron Rodgers and franchise tag Davante Adams. So they're both off the market. We were thinking Aaron Rodgers might go to Denver. We know that Denver got Russell Wilson. It's been a crazy week, man. So the Denver Broncos go get Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay. So now quarterbacks that a lot of teams were thinking they might be able to procure are gone. So Davante Adams is gone. But not only is he gone, lots and lots of Jets fans were hoping that Chris Godwin would shake free from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They franchise tagged him last year, so nobody really thought it was all that realistic that they would do it again. I think the number is just about $18 million for Chris Godwin, so I don't know. I think that they're franchise tagging him with the hopes of getting a long-term deal in place. I mean, Davante Adams, Chris Godwin for $18 million. As much as I like him, he was my number one wide receiver in last year's free agent class before he got franchised. As much as I like him, $18 million is a lot of money, man, for Chris Godwin. So I don't think the Bucs are looking to keep him on a one-year deal and pay him. They just wanted him not to hit free agency. And hey, good for him. Good for him. Bad for us. So look at this. So far we saw Dalton Schultz, David Njoku, Mike Gesicki, Chris Godwin, Davante Adams. They're all gone. These are guys we have talked about ad nauseum. We have talked about all these guys in Twitter feeds and videos on Jetnation's forums. We've been dissecting these guys and they're all gone in 2 minutes. Poof, gone. Hey, what about this guy? Now let's switch it to the defense. We all talk about Marcus Williams being the crown jewel of the safety class, but what happens if we can't get him? We had a couple other guys. We had Reed from the Texans, and we had another one, Jesse Bates. He seemed like a realistic option to grab from the Bengals, bring over to the Jets, and he is off the market, franchise tagged by the Bengals. They're not losing Jesse Bates. And that's another one. So we are just getting knocked around. And now a couple guys that maybe we weren't talking about as much, but were absolutely, potentially being considered by the Jets. Offensive tackle Orlando Brown from the Chiefs, franchise tagged. Offensive tackle Cam Robinson, who I was just in a conversation with, I don't know, a week ago with somebody about Cam Robinson from the Jaguars. He is off the market. It looks like the Jaguars, at least with their new regime, are making moves to secure some protection for Trevor Lawrence. In my opinion, they are going offensive line in the draft as well. I don't see it. I don't see the Jaguars going edge when they have edge rushers. They need tackles to protect offensive linemen in general to protect Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy. So they start that yesterday with this franchise tag period, and they re-sign Cam Robinson from the Jags. So where does that leave the Jets? We just got smacked around. We didn't even make a move, and everything changed for the New York Jets. No longer the top 3 tight ends on the market. There's still a couple, but they're gone. Some wide receivers we were talking about. One really kind of realistic in Chris Godwin. He's off the market. We lost Jesse Bates, and we lost a couple tackles. It was a rough day. So now what do we do in free agency for tight end? Let's keep it to the tight end for a minute. What are we going to do? You want O.J. Howard? Is that what you want? You want Ingram? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want these guys. I think I'd rather keep Ryan Griffin or Tyler Kroft than go out there and bring in a new guy that's on the same level. I don't know. Maybe there's a good option in Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is still a good option. We don't know what's going to happen with him, if the Eagles are committed to him or not. He could be a guy that Joe Douglas brings over. I think he would be a good addition along with Kenny Yeboah and a rookie. I think that would be nice and solid. He's still able to produce at a relatively high level. I think he's probably number 1 on the list right now. And what about the safeties? I don't know. Hey, look, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to think about. Again, these guys were on the top of many of our lists. So what do you think? Do you feel the same way I do? I couldn't believe it. It was like every 15 minutes. I'm like, where's that? Oh, no. So that's what it felt like to me. Did it feel the same way to you? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to talk to you guys about this one. What do we do at tight end and safety in free agency? We need to use free agency to get some, in my opinion. So where do we go? What's left? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day. Go Jets.